Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and this is another Spiritual Thursday. So, human beings are social and are a social species. And I have been noticing a disturbing and growing trend, especially in Western society, of isolationism within an individual's private life. Such as, take for an instance the individual I was talking to the other day. That person moved to the Portland metro area from another state. They didn't move here knowing anyone. They are too nervous about going out to meet people to go out and do social activities by themselves. Now see, here's the problem. That traps you into a locked cycle. It was one of the things that the communists were trying to do in Russia and in China and North Korea as well, was to try to isolate people to the point where all they did was work and do their chores and things at home, and work and chores and things at home. And that's all they wanted. Because when you do that, you are productive and you are not an issue. Social interactions, social discourse, thought, communication, emotional expressions. These things are some of the fundamentals that cause society's social behavioral changes and influence individual behaviors, either greatly or lesser, depending upon the individual expression or emotion or so on, throughout a person's life. Now, when you start talking about isolating people to the point where they are no longer social, you create these kind of pseudo hive mind drone interactions where people go to work and behave politely at work because that's what's expected of them, and if they want to keep their job, which means they can keep their house, they have to do that. And if they then have nobody that they've already connected with, they can't create a new connection to somebody, then you've got this perfectly isolated individual. And in this case, this individual is doing it to themselves. But realistically, what you have to do is actually create some interaction. And you can't do that by isolating yourself. You have to go out and do it. And I've noticed this more, especially amongst like teenagers. I am seeing fewer and fewer teenagers in the workforce. And I've seen reports on this as well from businessmen, fast food places, grocery stores, theaters, places where teenagers used to work regularly are now having issues hiring teenagers because teenagers won't come in and work. And so they're insulating themselves and isolating themselves out of the job market while they're in school. And they're failing to learn those concepts. And this is just a greater example of the issues that we're having as a society where we are constantly isolating ourselves inwards. It's what's given such rise to such narcissism. And the only way to really break that pattern is to force people out of their boxes. And I know that sounds really weird and really crazy and really stupid, but it is something that we need to start looking at, especially amongst children. We need to get them out of their comfort zone, out of playing video games and out doing stuff, so that they can become a more social individual. And it will actually create a society that is better, unlike many of these other techniques that are being talked about. Well, I want to thank you all again for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out some of my other videos on this type of topic, which is spiritual commentary. Most of this gets posted at unapologeticpagan.com, where I do a running social discourse for pagans and conservative value spiritualists. And as always, have yourself a beautiful Thursday.